Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a closer look at Jefferson Nickels, 5-cent coins that have been part of American change since 1938. While they may seem common, some carry unique details, older dates, or hidden errors that make them valuable to collectors. Let's explore what makes Jefferson Nickels interesting and which ones could be worth more than just 5 cents. First up, the 1980 Jefferson Nickel coin is part of the long-standing Jefferson Nickel series, which has been minted by the United States since 1938. This specific coin was produced at the Denver Mint as indicated by the D Mint mark and is composed primarily of a copper-nickel alloy. Over the decades, the Jefferson Nickel has become one of the most recognizable and collected coins in American numismatics due to its long-run historical significance and a prominent figure it honors. The coin commemorates Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. His legacy of intellectual achievement, political leadership, and vision for a democratic republic continues to be reflected in this 5-cent piece. The obverse of the Jefferson Nickel features a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson based on a sculpture by artist Felix Schlag. This depiction captures Jefferson in a thoughtful pose with his gaze turned slightly to the left, conveying a sense of intelligence and contemplation. The design has been a consistent element of the series since its debut, though some minor stylistic adjustments have occurred over the years. The date 1982 appears to the right of the portrait alongside the mint mark, which is placed just after the date. The simple, clean lines of the portrait combined with the overall balance of the design reflect mid-20th century ideals of classicism, dignity. On the reverse side of the 1980 Jefferson Nickel, the Monticello building is prominently displayed. This is Jefferson's famous Virginia estate, a neoclassical structure that he designed himself and considered one of his proudest accomplishments. Monticello symbolizes Jefferson's architectural talent, his Enlightenment thinking, and his commitment to individual liberty and innovation. The building is centered and symmetrically depicted with a clear roofline, dome columns, and steps leading to the entrance. Despite the coin being in circulated condition, which means it has passed through everyday use and likely exhibits signs of wear, the primary details, such as Monticello's architectural elements and the inscriptions around the image generally, remain legible and intact. Coins in circulated condition like this one often bear the marks of their journey through time. There may be visible wear on high points of the design, light scratches, or smoothing of fine details, especially on Jefferson's hair and face or on the Monticello dome. While these signs of wear might reduce the coin's market value for collectors seeking mint state examples, they also add character and a sense of history. Each scratch or worn area can be seen as a small record of how the coin has been used in everyday commerce, perhaps passed through countless hands across different towns and cities since it was first minted over 4 decades ago. The year 1982 itself holds significance in the context of U.S. coinage history. This was a transitional period during which economic considerations influenced the composition and minting process of American coins. Although the nickel maintained its traditional metal composition, unlike the penny, which saw changes in 1982. Due to rising copper prices, it still serves as a reminder of the broader shifts in materials, technology, and policy affecting U.S. mint operations during the early 1980s. The Denver Mint, where this coin was struck, is known for its high production volumes, and the D Mint mark is a crucial identifier for coin collectors in tracking origin and verifying authenticity. 4. Many collectors and enthusiasts, Jefferson Nickels serve as an excellent entry point into numismatics. They are widely available, relatively affordable, and offer a deep connection to American history and design. Even circulated examples, like the 1980 coin, are valued for their educational value, historical associations, and visual appeal. Examining a circulated nickel allows one to appreciate how coins age over time, how their appearance evolves with wear, and how their details become softened through continual handling. It also offers insight into the everyday financial life of the nation, as these coins have played a steady role in small transactions across generations. From a historical perspective, Thomas Jefferson's appearance on U.S. coinage reflects his immense contributions to the formation of the United States. He was not only a founding father, but also a statesman, diplomat, and philosopher. His role in writing the Declaration of Independence, his vision for an agrarian democracy, and his leadership in the early years of the Republic make him an enduring symbol of American ideals. The use of his Monticello home on the reverse reinforces these themes and visually links the coin to Jefferson's broader legacy. This makes each Jefferson nickel, including the 1980 example, a tiny monument to the ideas and institutions he helped build. While modern coins may not always command the same artistic reverence as earlier numismatic issues, they remain significant in their own right. The 1980 Jefferson nickel reflects the ongoing effort by the U.S. Mint to produce durable, functional, and meaningful currency. Its continued presence in circulation well into the 21st century testifies to the durability of both its physical composition and its cultural relevance. Even as digital transactions and credit cards become more prevalent, coins like this nickel maintain their practical and symbolic roles in society. They are physical reminders of shared values, national heritage, and economic exchange. Beyond its function as money, the coin can be used in education, particularly in teaching American history, civics, and art. Students can learn about Thomas Jefferson, his achievements, and controversies through an object they might find in their pocket. They can explore architectural design by studying Monticello and connect it to broader themes in neoclassical architecture. The coin's date and mint mark can introduce lessons about the geography of the U.S. Mint, its different locations, and the purpose of distinguishing coins based on origin. Additionally, discussions about condition grading and collecting can enhance understanding of value preservation and attention to detail. Next up, we have the 1938 Jefferson nickel coin. Holds a special place in the history of American numismatics as it marked the debut of a new 5-cent coin design that replaced the earlier Buffalo nickel. This transition was significant not only because it introduced a new portrait to U.S. coinage, but also because it reflected changes in artistic style, minting technology, and public taste. The 1938 Jefferson nickel was the first year of issue for this design, and its introduction represented a new chapter in the legacy of American coin production. The coin features Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the most influential founding fathers, whose contributions to the development of the country included authoring the Declaration of Independence and helping shape the ideals of democracy and liberty. On the obverse of the 1938 Jefferson nickel is a left-facing profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson based on the work of German-American artist Felix Schlag. This design was selected through a national competition aimed at finding a fresh and dignified image suitable for long-term use on a circulating coin. Schlag's winning submission captured Jefferson's classical features in a simple yet stately manner, emphasizing the former president's intellectual presence. The portrait shows Jefferson with neatly combed hair and a reserved expression, symbolizing his rational and contemplative character. The date 1938 is inscribed on this side of the coin, and depending on the minting location, a mint mark may appear to the right of the building on the reverse, though this particular coin appears without a mint mark, which indicates it was produced at the main Philadelphia Mint. The reverse of the coin features Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, and one of the most iconic buildings associated with early American architecture. Schlag originally proposed a more artistic interpretation of the house, but was later required to revise the design to more accurately reflect the neoclassical structure. The image of Monticello remains one of the most recognizable and enduring features of the Jefferson nickel and speaks to Jefferson's architectural skills as well as his Enlightenment ideals. The balanced symmetry and elegant lines of Monticello contribute to the overall classical aesthetic of the coin and serve as a tribute to Jefferson's legacy not only as a political leader, but as a thinker and creator. In terms of condition, this 1938 Jefferson nickel is described as used and old, which indicates that it has seen significant circulation over the years. As such, it may display various signs of wear, including smoothing of fine details on Jefferson's face, the steps and dome of Monticello, and the coin's rims and fields. These marks of age and use add a layer of character and historical resonance to the coin. Though it may lack the sharpness and luster of an uncirculated example, its age appearance serves as a testament to the many decades it has spent in pockets, drawers, cash registers, and collections. Every imperfection tells a story of the coin's long journey through American life and commerce since its minting nearly a century ago. The year 1938 also marked a period of change and uncertainty in American history. The country was emerging from the Great Depression and facing the looming threat of global conflict as tensions rose in Europe and Asia. In this context, the decision to update the 5-cent coin with a new design honoring a revered historical figure may have been intended to inspire unity, pride, and a sense of continuity during a turbulent time. By choosing Jefferson, a man whose writings and ideals helped define the American experiment, the coin served as a daily reminder of the values that the nation aspired to uphold. It also reflected a growing interest in using coinage as a medium for education and cultural expression beyond mere economic utility. For collectors, the 1938 Jefferson nickel holds considerable interest as a first-year issue. It is part of the broader Jefferson Nickel series, which ran largely unchanged from 1938 to 2003 before undergoing a temporary redesign in the early 21st century. As the inaugural release of the series, this coin carries historical weight and is often sought after by those looking to complete a full set of Jefferson nickels. The Philadelphia issue, without a mint mark, is relatively common in circulated condition, but its appeal lies in its foundational role and in the clean aesthetic of Schlag's original design, which many numismatists still admire for its balance and restraint. Coins like the 1938 Jefferson nickel also offer valuable teaching opportunities. They can be used to introduce students to topics such as American history, political philosophy, and even architecture. They allow for discussions about the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, his achievements and contradictions, and the ways in which he has been remembered and honored over time. They also invite consideration of design evolution within the U.S. Mint and the role of artists and sculptors in shaping the visual language of national identity. Even in a well-worn state, this coin can serve as a tactile link to these broader themes, helping to make abstract concepts more tangible and relatable. Next up, we have the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel is part of a long-running and familiar coin series that has played a steady role in the daily life of American currency. This particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint as indicated by the D mint mark and continues the tradition of honoring one of the United States' most influential founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. The coin's design remained largely consistent from its debut in 1938 through the early 21st century, and by 1978 it had become one of the most widely circulated coins in the United States. Even though it may show some scratches due to wear and use, the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel still carries with it a wealth of historical context and cultural significance. The obverse of the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel features a left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson designed by Felix Schlag, who won a national competition in the late 1930s to create the new design for the 5-cent coin. Jefferson's image is portrayed with a calm, dignified expression that reflects his historical status as a philosopher, author of the Declaration of Independence, and the third President of the United States. His appearance on the coin serves as a constant tribute to his pivotal role in shaping the early American Republic and in defending the principles of liberty and democracy. The portrait is detailed, though over time and through circulation, some of that detail may become diminished. In this case, where the coin is noted to have some scratches, those imperfections likely affect the finer elements of Jefferson's hair and facial features, as well as the smoothness of the coin's field. On the reverse side of the coin is the image of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home located in Virginia. Also designed by Felix Schlag, Monticello serves as both a symbol of Jefferson's personal achievements and a lasting piece of neoclassical architecture. The reverse includes the structure's iconic dome, the front portico, and its symmetrical windows, all of which highlight Jefferson's affinity for classical design and Enlightenment ideals. Even with wear and surface marks, the general shape and layout of Monticello often remain visible on circulated coins like this one. The image of Monticello is not just architectural, but philosophical, as it echoes Jefferson's belief in balance, reason, and civic responsibility. The year 1978 places this coin in a very different era from the one in which Jefferson lived, but it nonetheless reflects the continuity of American values and commemorative practices. During the late 1970s, the United States was experiencing political, cultural, and economic transitions. Issues such as inflation, the aftermath of the Vietnam War, and shifting public trust in government defined the mood of the nation. Amid these changes, the continued presence of Jefferson on everyday coinage served as a reassuring symbol of stability and foundational ideals. Holding or observing a coin like this one reminds users of the country's enduring democratic traditions, even in times of uncertainty and change. This particular coin shows some scratches, which is expected for a piece that has been in circulation for more than 4 decades. These surface marks do not diminish the value of the coin in everyday transactions, but they can impact its appeal to collectors who often look for well-preserved examples. Nonetheless, coins that show signs of wear tell their own stories. Each mark might represent countless transactions, exchanges, and hands through which the coin has passed. From being given as change at a grocery store to sitting in a child's piggy bank or even being carried in a pocket as a lucky charm, this coin has likely lived through thousands of human interactions over the years. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, has long been a cornerstone of American coin production. Known for its high output and efficiency, the Denver facility has minted billions of coins each year to meet the needs of the growing U.S. economy. The D-Mint mark signifies not only where the coin was struck, but also helps numismatists distinguish between coins made at different locations for comparative study or for building complete collections. In the case of the 1978 Jefferson nickel, both the Denver and Philadelphia issues are relatively common, though each carries its own unique production characteristics and levels of preservation, depending on storage and circulation. Beyond its monetary use and historical symbolism, the 1978 D. Jefferson nickel holds educational value. It can serve as a starting point for conversations about American government history, architecture, and even the minting process itself. Students learning about Thomas Jefferson might examine the coin as a way to connect abstract lessons about the Declaration of Independence or the Louisiana Purchase to something physical and tangible. Teachers and parents often use such coins to make history more relatable, helping young learners see how the past continues to influence the present in quiet but powerful ways. Next up, we have the 1936 5-cent coin, often referred to as the Buffalo nickel or Indian head nickel, is one of the most iconic and beloved coins in the history of American currency. Issued by the United States Mint from 1913 to 1938, this particular coin was part of a design series that paid tribute to the Native American heritage of the United States and the wildlife of the American West. The 1936 edition falls near the end of the coin's production life, which adds a layer of historical interest to its already rich background. Although the condition is noted as circulated and used, meaning it has likely changed hands many times and may show signs of where the coin still holds deep cultural and numismatic value. The obverse side of the 1936 5-cent coin features a profile portrait of a Native American man designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser. This portrait is not of a single individual, but rather a composite created by Fraser using features from multiple Native American models. This design choice was intended to represent the dignity and strength of Native American tribes more broadly. The facial features, including the high cheekbones and braided hair as well as the feather detail, may be worn down due to circulation, but even in this state the coin continues to reflect the honor and respect Fraser sought to convey. The design was a radical departure from the more traditional depictions of political figures, and it brought a fresh and poignant aesthetic to American coinage. On the reverse side of the coin is the image of an American bison standing on a mound. The animal represents the rugged and untamed frontier of the American West and again draws from Fraser's vision of capturing the essence of early American life. The bison depicted was modeled after Black Diamond, a buffalo that lived at the Bronx Zoo in New York. Over time, especially in circulated condition, many coins exhibit smoothing of the bison's details, particularly around the head and front legs. But the posture and form of the bison typically remain recognizable. This powerful image of the bison evokes both strength and endurance, symbolizing the untamed spirit of the American landscape before the rapid expansion of settlement and industry. The year 1936 is significant because it represents one of the last years this design was in use. Just 2 years later, in 1938, the Buffalo nickel would be replaced by the Jefferson nickel, marking the end of a chapter in United States coinage. Therefore, the 1936 Buffalo nickel serves as one of the final mints of a coin that had come to symbolize a deep sense of national identity rooted in heritage and nature. It was a time when America was recovering from the Great Depression, and coins like these passed through the hands of millions of Americans struggling with economic hardship, seeking hope and opportunity wherever they could find it. The circulated and use condition of this coin suggests that it has seen decades of daily life. It may have been part of grocery transactions, saved in a child's jar, traded at general stores, or even lost and later rediscovered. Each mark, scratch, or worn-down detail tells a story of the people who once used it. The coin's journey through so many pockets and hands reflects not just the movement of currency, but the lives and experiences of those who lived through times of change. Coins in such condition are often not valued highly by collectors seeking mint or near-mint examples, but they are appreciated by historians and hobbyists for their authenticity and lived history. The Buffalo nickel series, including the 1936 coin, faced some challenges during its time in circulation. One of the primary issues was the design itself, which, although artistically rich, was prone to rapid wear. The date in particular was located in a raised position that wore down quickly, with use leading many surviving examples to have faint or completely illegible dates. This issue makes well-preserved examples rarer and more desirable. However, even worn coins like this one still maintain significance as pieces of the American story. They offer a tactile connection to a past era and provide insight into the values and priorities of the society that produced them. Beyond its role as a medium of exchange, the 1936 5-cent coin serves as an educational tool. It can be used to teach about Native American representation in art, the wildlife of North America, and the history of American coin design. Students and collectors alike find fascination in the way such a small object can encapsulate so much meaning. The coin's imagery inspires conversations about cultural recognition, conservation, and the evolving identity of the nation. Even in circulated and used condition, the coin invites reflection on these broader themes. Collectors often seek Buffalo nickels not only for their historical value, but for the sense of nostalgia and admiration they evoke. The design is considered one of the most beautiful in U.S. coinage and has even been revived in modern commemorative coins due to its enduring popularity. For some, owning a 1936 Buffalo nickel in any condition is about connecting with a piece of American art and history. It is not simply a coin, but a keepsake of a bygone era, a reminder of the country's evolving story told through metal imagery and utility. Next up, we have the 1987 Jefferson nickel is a piece of American coinage that carries both historical and numismatic interest. Minted in Denver in the year 1987, this coin features a portrait of one of the United States' most influential founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, and continues a coin series that began in 1938. Over the decades, Jefferson nickels have been a staple in the pockets and change drawers of millions of Americans. While many of these coins remain in circulation today, Those in good condition like this example often catch the eye of collectors and enthusiasts due to their clarity and preservation of design details. The obverse side of the 1987 Jefferson Nickel displays the left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This likeness, created by sculptor Felix Schlag, showcases Jefferson's distinct features, including his high cheekbones, long hair tied back in a queue, and his stoic expression reflecting his legacy as a leader and intellectual. Around the edges of the coin, inscriptions typically include the word liberty, the phrase "In God We Trust," and the year of mintage, which in this case is 1987. The presence of the letter D below the date indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the key facilities for producing U.S. coins. On the reverse side of the coin, the central image is Jefferson's famous Virginia home, Monticello. This neoclassical mansion, designed by Jefferson himself, remains one of the most enduring symbols of his legacy in American architecture and innovation. The detailed dome, columns, and portico are represented with precision, even on circulated coins, and are framed by inscriptions that include the name of the building and the denomination of the coin, which is 5 cents. While the design might show some signs of wear in a circulated coin, a well-preserved 1987 nickel in good condition still offers a clear view of these features, maintaining its appeal to collectors. From a historical perspective, the Jefferson Nickel series has gone through several phases and design updates. However, the version minted in 1987 adheres to the original design that remained largely unchanged for over 6 decades. This continuity makes each coin part of a broader story. In American currency, the year 1987 itself was not a particularly remarkable year for rare minting errors or low production numbers for the Jefferson nickel, but coins from this period are still valuable in illustrating how American coin design remained consistent. During the late 20th century, the Jefferson nickel holds particular educational and cultural significance. It represents a commitment to honoring historical figures who contributed to the nation's formation and development. Unlike other coins that rotate images more frequently, the Jefferson nickel design was remarkably stable until the early 2000s, when it was temporarily modified to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition. As a result, coins like the 1987 edition are part of a long tradition that links Americans across generations through a shared and familiar piece of currency. In terms of condition, this specific coin is described as being in good shape, meaning it has likely retained most of its original design features without excessive wear, corrosion, or discoloration. Although it may not qualify as uncirculated or mint state, a good condition coin still retains collector interest, especially when found with minimal scratches and clear lettering. It may have passed through numerous hands since its mintage, but it has remained relatively intact, preserving its historical essence and design clarity. Collectors and hobbyists who study or accumulate Jefferson nickels often appreciate coins like this for their balance of accessibility and historical relevance. The 1987 coin is not considered rare or especially valuable in the marketplace, but its value lies in its representation of a stable era in American coinage. It was minted during a period when the U.S. economy was experiencing growth and modernization, and as such, coins from this era were produced in large quantities and widely used in commerce. Despite their commonality, each coin carries a personal history of transactions, exchanges, and perhaps even small everyday moments of American life. Jefferson nickels also invite reflection on the deeper meanings associated with money and its role in society. Beyond its face value, a nickel such as this one is a symbol of national identity, values, and shared memory. It connects users to a past era, offers a physical representation of a nation's leadership, and serves as a tool for economic activity and educational inquiry. In classrooms, coins like these are used to teach about history, economics, and design. In collections, they are cataloged for their mint marks, wear patterns, and historical context. Even in casual use, they bring a small but meaningful piece of American heritage into the everyday lives of citizens. Furthermore, the Denver Mint, which produced this coin, has a rich history of its own. Established in the late 1800s, it has played a crucial role in supplying coins to the western United States. Coins marked with the D Mint mark are often collected specifically to understand regional differences in minting and distribution. In this way, the 1987 D Jefferson Nickel is not only a product of national currency, but also a marker of regional economic history and minting practice.